Is a recession really coming? Amidst a sea of economic turmoil with mass layoffs, skyrocketing credit card debt, and the fear of a 2008-style housing crash in 4 U.S. cities, a new theory has emerged. A recession may not happen after all. Despite the odds, the economy saw 2.9% growth in the last quarter of 2022. Companies like Tesla are reporting record revenues. Chipotle is planning to hire 15,000 new employees, and the stock market is rallying. But with the housing market still in flux, and experts like Michael Burry calling the current rally a mirage, the question on everyone's minds is what is really happening. As the White House warns, there are no fixed rules or thresholds that determine a recession. A recession is defined as 2 consecutive quarters of declining GDP, but the National Bureau of Economic Research has updated their definition to include a significant decline in economic activity that could last for months to over a year. This new definition takes into account factors like lower employment, production, and sales. Despite the bleak outlook, some experts argue that we may not be in a recession after all. The lag time between a recession and its official declaration is usually 7.3 months, and by the time it's announced, the worst is often over. This time though, some analysts point to a relatively strong job market and a consumer net worth of $145 trillion, up from $115 trillion pre-pandemic. Additionally, the San Francisco Fed argues an alternative measure of unemployment and consumer net worth is a better predictor of a downturn than the yield curve. However, the housing market still presents a significant challenge. Goldman Sachs has warned of a 2008-style housing crash in 4 U.S. cities by 2023. And while the economy may not officially be in a recession, the housing market's decline could have far-reaching effects. With the future uncertain, it's important to stay informed and understand the factors that could shape the future of the economy. So stay tuned as we delve into the latest news, trends, and theories surrounding the economy and the possibility of a recession. We have a lot to cover in this video, but before moving on, we kindly ask you to support our work with a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. The recent mass layoffs in the United States has sent shockwaves through the nation's workforce, leaving countless families in turmoil and uncertainty. In an instant, what once seemed like secure and stable careers have been stripped away, leaving a trail of financial and emotional devastation in their wake. According to recent reports, the United States has seen a sharp increase in mass layoffs, with over 1.5 million Americans losing their jobs in just the last year alone. Particularly across the retail, finance, and technology sector, has been hit hard, with major companies such as IBM, Oracle, Intel, Amazon, and PayPal announcing significant cuts to their workforce. In fact, the tech industry has been responsible for over 15% of all job losses in the country in the last year. These companies have announced the biggest layoffs in 2023, as stated by Time magazine. Google, 6% layoff is the company's largest ever. Amazon. In early January, Amazon CEO Andy Jassy revealed that the company was cutting 18,000 jobs. Microsoft. On January 18th, Microsoft announced plans to eliminate 10,000 jobs, or around 4.5% of its 220,000-person global workforce. International Business Machines Corp., or IBM, announced thousands of layoffs January 25th. 3,900 job losses, or 1.5% of its workforce. Goldman Sachs announced Tuesday that it will spend $275 million on the 3,200 job cuts announced in January. PayPal announced that it would be cutting 2,000 employees, which is around 7% of the company's total workforce. In addition, the Wall Street Journal reported that tech companies slashed more than 150,000 jobs in 2022 alone. The impact of these layoffs has been widespread, with workers from all walks of life and all parts of the country feeling the pain. From experienced professionals to entry-level employees, the sudden loss of employment has left many struggling to make ends meet and uncertain about their future. The job market, once seen as a beacon of stability and security, now seems uncertain, with the future looking increasingly uncertain. These statistics paint a dire picture of the current state of the United States workforce and highlight the need for a comprehensive and effective response to this crisis. The government and private sector must come together to provide support and resources for those affected by the mass layoffs, including job training programs, financial assistance, and other forms of support. The tech sector, in particular, must play a leading role in addressing this crisis, leveraging its expertise and resources to help those who have been affected by these layoffs, and ensure that they have the tools they need to get back on their feet. As the modern world becomes increasingly reliant on credit, it is no surprise that credit card debt is spiraling out of control. In recent years, the amount of credit card debt has skyrocketed, leaving many struggling to keep up with the increasing demands of their financial obligations. According to LendingTree, Americans' total credit card balance is $925 billion in the third quarter of 2022, according to the latest consumer debt data from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. That's a $38 billion jump from $887 billion in the first quarter of 2022. This staggering amount of debt has put a significant strain on the finances of countless individuals and families, leaving them struggling to make ends meet and sinking further into debt with each passing day. But the true extent of this crisis goes far beyond just the numbers. Behind each and every statistic is a person or family who is feeling the crushing weight of debt. For many, it is a never-ending cycle of making minimum payments, accruing interest, and falling further behind. The emotional toll of this debt can be devastating, leading to feelings of stress, anxiety, and hopelessness. It is time for action. The rapid increase in credit card debt is a warning sign of a larger financial crisis that demands our attention. It is up to each and every one of us to take responsibility for our financial health and work towards finding a solution to this growing problem. Whether it means seeking professional help, cutting back on spending, or finding ways to increase our income, the time to act is now before it is too late. The housing market in 4 major cities across the United States will likely plummet. The housing market in 4 major cities across the U.S. is on the brink of a catastrophic crash, according to Goldman Sachs. San Jose, Austin, Phoenix, and San Diego were once thriving metropolises, filled with vibrant neighborhoods, growing economies, and bustling communities. But now, as the housing market is poised to plummet, these cities are facing the prospect of financial ruin. Goldman Sachs reports that the impending housing crash is already causing strain for homeowners, as they struggle to keep up with mortgage payments and property values drop rapidly. The once bustling streets are now dotted with abandoned homes, foreclosed properties, and palpable signs of economic hardship. The crisis is affecting families and communities, leading to widespread poverty and homelessness. As the housing market continues its downward spiral, the future of these cities hangs in the balance. There are fears that the economic turmoil will only escalate as more homes go into foreclosure and the number of homeless people continues to rise. San Jose, Austin, Phoenix, and San Diego are now on the verge of collapse as the impending housing market crash threatens to take its toll on the local economies. In Austin, which was ranked as the hottest real estate market in the United States by Zillow in 2021, the housing market has experienced a decline. According to Zillow's 2023 report, Austin's real estate market has fallen to 30th place and is now considered ice cold. Homes in Austin are now spending an average of 68 days in the market, longer than any other major metropolitan area in the U.S. Despite these challenges, it is important to note that the housing market can be subject to fluctuations and changes. While the current outlook may seem daunting, it is possible for these cities to recover in the future. It is crucial for those in the real estate industry to stay informed and adapt to the changing market conditions in order to make informed decisions. The 2023 year is filled with uncertainty and fear as the nation braces itself for another potential economic downturn. But there is hope on the horizon. The U.S. created 223,000 payrolls in December, much exceeding the 200,000 jobs expected by Bloomberg polled analysts, while the unemployment rate fell to 3.5%, considerably below the 3.7% expectation. Despite stronger increases in the first 3 months of 2022, employment growth in December indicates that the labor market remains robust. According to Insider, a global news publication, inflation has slowed in December, providing a glimmer of optimism for both the economy and cash-strapped consumers. One measure of inflation, the Consumer Price Index, rose 6.5% year-over-year in December, marking a big drop from the November reading of 7.1%. This decrease in inflation is the 6th month in a row showing a decline in the figure, suggesting that inflation is cooling. This slowing of inflation is a positive sign for the Federal Reserve, who have been closely monitoring this key economic indicator. Mark Zandi, Moody's Analytics chief economist, told Insider that inflation is on its back heels, and that this broadly moderating inflation should take pressure off the Fed for future rate hikes, significantly raising the odds that the economy can navigate through without a recession in 2023. The moderation of inflation, combined with a strong labor market, could mean that the United States may avoid a recession in 2023. However, this news must be approached with caution, as the economy is a complex and ever-changing system. Despite this positive development, there are many factors that can influence economic growth and stability, including global events, political policies, and natural disasters. Only time will tell if the country will be able to hold steady and weather this potential storm. But for now, there's a glimmer of hope for a brighter future. It's important to note that the future of the economy is not set in stone, and there are no guarantees. Nevertheless, the slowing of inflation and the strong labor market are both positive signs, and suggest that the United States may be able to dodge a recession in 2023. The nation remains optimistic and hopeful, and it is crucial that we all do our part to support the economy and contribute to its growth and stability. Despite stronger increases in the first 3 months of 2022, employment growth in December indicates that the labor market remains robust. In conclusion, the future of the economy remains uncertain, and it is important to stay informed and understand the factors that could shape it. Experts like Michael Burry warn that the current economic rally could be a mirage. However, a comprehensive and effective response is needed from both the government and private sector to provide support and resources for those affected by the mass layoffs, including job training programs, financial assistance, and other forms of support. The tech sector in particular must play a leading role in addressing this crisis. We hope you've enjoyed our video today, so if you've enjoyed it, please support our work with a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions or recommendations, please let us know in the comments section, and we will respond to them as soon as possible.